So far, we have presented median as the centralmost value in a dataset. Or if there are an even number of values, then the center of the two centralmost values. That is enough for this course. However, it is possible to look at this concept of median from a number of different perspectives. So, in terms of some other characterizing properties of median. In this video, we are going to discuss two such characterizations. Suppose I give you these points. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I ask you to find its median. Well, they are already ordered. So I will just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the centralmost point. So this will be our median. Now we can think of this median as characterized by certain other properties other than just saying that it is the centralmost point. Just imagine that there is a guy like this who is walking from this end of the data and going inside. Now when the guy comes here, then I will say that his depth inside the data is 1. He has gone one level deep inside the data. So now his data depth is 0. When he comes here, his data depth becomes 1. When he comes here, his data depth becomes 2, like this. Now, what do I mean by data depth? It is like this. Suppose the guy is somewhere. Suppose the guy is here. And he wants to get out of this forest. So as if these are all trees, the data points are like trees. And he wants to get out of the forest into the open, either on this side or on that side. We want to know how many trees he has to cross in order to come out into the open, the minimum number of trees. Suppose he is here. In that case, he has to cross either 1, 2, 3 to come out like this, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this will be his nearer end. So in this case, his data depth will be equal to 3. Now if the guy is here, in that case the data depth will be 1 because he can just come out by crossing this tree. Now if we think in terms of data depth, then median is the point which has the maximum data depth. This is same as saying it is the centralmost point, but the advantage of data depth is that you can generalize it to other situations as well. Now here is one such situation. Suppose the points are scattered all over a two-dimensional plane, not along a line anymore. There are situations where your data will be like this. Now in that case, you can still generalize the concept of data depth, but it is not very easy to say what is meant by the centralmost point. So what you do is that again consider this as a tree, but you define the boundary of the forest like this. You take a rubber band, you stretch it out and you just let it go, and then the rubber band will become as short as possible, contract, and will take the shape of this polygon. So this is the boundary of your forest. Now if you remove all these boundary trees and you repeat the same experiment, in that case you will get the innermost, the second layer of boundary like this, and the third boundary will be just like this. So now you can talk about again data depth. So any point here has data depth 2, you have to cross two boundaries in order to get out. Any point here has data depth 1, and a point here, so if, say for example there is a third point, just to illustrate, in that case any point here will have data depth 3, and that is the maximum data depth for this particular data set. So you can define median of these points to be any point in this triangle. Now here is another concept or another characterization of median. Again, we have got back to our one-dimensional example. This is called simplicial depth, another concept of depth. What we do now is we take any pair of points and consider the line segment joining them. So I will draw that line segment slightly above the number line. So this is for this pair, this is for this pair, this is for this pair, this is for this. Similarly, I can take these two and these, and similarly I can take these. So I have drawn all these little line segments. So I am taking any two distinct points and I am joining them with a line. Now you see there are lots of lines. Suppose I take this point and consider how many lines, how many of these segments is it in. It is in 1, 2, 3, 4 such segments. I take this point. How many? Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I take this point, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I take this point, how many? I will include the endpoints as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is the maximum number. Well, in this particular case, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in fact, this will be maximum. In this case, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the point which lies in the intersection of maximum number of such segments is the median. So that is called the simplicial depth, and that is another characterizing property of the median.